Paul, this is something you write about in Liberty Defined, but this is an email to you from Abby Teray. Hi, I've heard Ron Paul mention abortion in various appearances on C-SPAN over the past few years. I remember hearing him say that in certain hospitals in which he was doing his training, he was aware that abortions were taking place, and he said later that when he had his own medical practice, women would have a very casual attitude about abortion. Could he tell us any information he has on this topic or any stories which have remained in his mind?
Of course, I guess we might not have sent you the book I have, Abortion and Liberty. That is another book because I write a whole book on it. Because I've had a unique opportunity to think of it as a doctor, somebody who has, religious beliefs and also been in politics and had to deal with it legally. And I think she's referring to a story that I quoted that before abortions were legal, I was observing an operation in the operating room where I was doing my residency, and they were doing a cesarean section, and they lifted out the fetus, which weighed a couple pounds, and here I found out it was an abortion they were doing. So they took the infant then that was born and put it in a bucket and put it in the corner of the room, and the baby cried and whimpered and breathed a little bit. And the amazing thing was everybody just pretended they didn't hear it, and there was no effort to do anything. And then a day or two later, I was walking down the corridor, and a woman had a baby prematurely. It was slightly bigger than that baby, and they had 10 doctors surrounding that baby trying to save that baby's life. And I got to thinking, I saw medicine and delivering babies as preservation of life and caring for life, and that was such a contradiction. So there's a lot of contradictions, in the abortion issue, and it really boils down to whether or not you think an unborn fetus has any rights at all. I've come to the conclusion that they do, because I know that if I did something wrong as a doctor, I could be sued for injuring the baby. If a baby gets killed in an accident, the person that did the harm can be charged with murder. And one thing that's amazing to me about this abortion issue is we teach this disrespect for life, and we teach young girls and our whole society that babies aren't worth much and you can throw them away if you don't think it's necessary. But believe it or not, there are some young girls pregnant. They get in denial. They don't realize they're pregnant. Then they deliver a baby, and they're not knowing really what's going on. And so they'll take the baby and they'll throw it away. They'll put it in a garbage bag and throw it away. When they get caught, they get charged with murder. It's a felony to do this. And I think, this sort of has to be resolved. 1 minute sooner, if it had gone to the abortionist, because it would have been a late abortion, the doctor would have been paid a lot of money to do this. But the next minute, when the child who's having this baby interprets society saying, well, it has no value, all of a sudden it's a big issue. So I have a great deal of empathy for the problem, because I've seen all the negative things that can happen. Just about every political party has a division there. Even in the Libertarian Party, there are a lot of right-to-life libertarians and a lot of right-to-abortion people. But overall, I don't want the federal government involved. I don't want money being spent. One of the worst things that's ever done by the pro-abortion people is tax the people who have this fervent belief against abortion, take money from them and send it to clinics that do abortions. And that really is spitting in somebody's face, to do that. But even though states have a right to regulate this, I think, once again, it's a reflection of society. I mentioned that, when that abortion was done at my hospital where I was a resident, and it was illegal, it was in the 60s. Well, the 60s were a wild decade. The Vietnam War was going on, the drug craze, abortion became popular, and then the Supreme Court ruled it was okay. So it isn't because of Roe versus Wade. I don't like Roe versus Wade. But Roe versus Wade affects the culture and the morality of the people. So if we're going to solve a problem like this, probably at the beginning of our country and for a long period of time, abortions weren't done because people didn't believe in them. The culture was different. And I think that will eventually be the answer. There are some pro-life groups that don't even deal in politics. They don't even get involved. They just try to help the person who's in distress over the pregnancy. And I'm strongly in favor of that. I think it's a personal moral problem, and the law is sort of catches up to this careless attitude which was established in the 1960s.
And you're an obstetrician, correct?
Right.